Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Post-Fades and Cheesesteaks. Today we got myself, Dakota, and subbing in for Tim, we got Mr. Mike, Big Mike, coming back again. Big time guy on the show here. What did you do? Was it Edge Rushers? Was that the one you did
I
for
did.
top
I
10?
did top 10 edge rushers was the last time I've been on. Yeah,
And I think we usually get you on for at least one regular season, like weekly recap, it seems like. So,
yeah.
but
Usually one, sometimes depending on who's available.
mhm.
I'm always more than happy to hop on, more than once whenever needed.
Yeah, and we absolutely appreciate that. It's always fun to chat.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, Birds fans are always welcomed here. And but yeah, speaking of the Birds, we did get a much needed victory right before our bye week, being the Giants. What were your initial thoughts on that game?
yeah. Depending on how deep you want me to go into it,
Oh, bro.
I can probably go like hours talking about what I've been seeing from the Birds. But the biggest takeaways for me from the game probably start with the offense and Patulo with this play calling. I don't know if it was conversations that were had with some of the players, or just taking general feedback, but I like what I'm seeing. We're finally getting more, and we've been seeing it, the past few games. We're getting more under center play action, which I've been a huge advocate for all season. And then they
Yeah.
finally started to really work it in against Minnesota, because it really just opens up the run game a lot more and kind of gives you options downfield. Like you saw that wide open throw to Smitty right down the middle of the field, which I was shocked at because Jalen is like one of my biggest problems with Jalen is that he doesn't throw the ball in the middle of the field, which you'll hear from everybody that watches the games. It's
Yeah.
like the guy historically just does not throw down the middle. And then the other problem that he's had for the longest time is against the blitz, which he's been above average
I'm
when
pretty sure he has the number one like passer rating against the Blitz this year, number one or number
yeah,
two. So he's been phenomenal.
crazy, crazy. So I love that. Being able to see that, even though it was kind of like during the end of the game and the game was already kind of out of reach for the
Mm.
Giants, that touchdown throw to Dotson was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Although, if you want to look past the fact that Smitty was wide open on the other side because he made Deontay Banks fall when he did his double move,
Mm.
and Deontay Banks is literally on the floor, and Smitty's like, 5 yards ahead of him, wide open.
He's so
Um,
good.
so had that throw been missed, or had Dotson not have made his once every 3 game appearance with like
Yeah.
a crazy catch, we would be probably be talking about that. But that was pretty cool to see. Um, and then after that, it's really just hopefully they can keep this going because they've got a hard stretch of games coming up now. I mean,
Oh
they had
yeah.
the eighth hardest schedule to start the season, and now they have the sixth hardest remaining schedule because they got the Packers coming off of the bye on Monday Night Football. Then it's the Lions, then the Cowboys. And I mean, that Cowboys game, if they win, their next 3 games before they play the Eagles, that could potentially be a pretty huge game, depending on how the Eagles kind of shape up with the two prior to that one. But they've got a comfortable lead in the NFC East, 3 games ahead of everybody else. And they currently hold the 1 seed because they have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. So that was a huge win in Tampa that they had earlier this year.
Oh yeah. Surprising win.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of football to be played. But I like where things are going. I like the trade that they just made for Michael Carter. If he can stay healthy, I think if you move him to nickel and then put the Gene outside, you could really lock up some of those deficiencies that we've had in
Yeah.
secondary. But it's all about whether or not he can stay healthy. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean on the trade, I like it just because it's a low risk trade. John Mechie was a cool transaction. Obviously has ties with Devontae Smith, and I don't know if he played with Jalen before Jalen graduated, but it was a cool little story. But he just wasn't getting time. He's a good player. I just think he needs to be on a team where he has, where he gets game time.
Yeah.
So he was basically our fourth receiver we traded for, a nickel corner who just a couple like 2 years ago, I was hearing Jets fans say that he's one of the best nickel corners in the league, this and that. I know this year he's had kind of a down year and he's been sliding down the depth chart, so maybe it's just a scheme thing. But
He's just
yeah,
an
any way that that they can get some better production out of their corners because of Dory Jackson just ain't it. And I had high hopes for Ringo like we all did, but he also ain't
yeah.
it.
I
Um,
think we had high hopes for Ringo just because of the Georgia ties and
I
the
mean, he
Georgia
was
dogs.
he was a good corner in college. It just and he but his also his like athletics, like he's so fast and tall for his size, for his size, and it's just
Great length.
like why can't you put it together?
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I feel like I still have hope for him. I think that maybe it won't be with the Eagles, but I
Yeah, I
feel like
mean,
he might click at some point. He's just you look at his profile. He's just so he has all of the traits that you want. From a good corner. Like you said, he's fast. He's athletic. He's lengthy.
yeah.
He just can't put it together. Like there's too many plays where I see him. The coverage busted, and the first thing I see is number 7. It's like, damn it, Keely, man. Like I need you to put it
And
together. It would
it's
have been so
weird.
much better.
It's weird because like the last game he obviously got cooked, but then the Giants game he was like, I mean, who the hell was playing receiver for the Giants? But he seemed to be like much more under control. Um, So we'll see. But yeah, that was another thing that a lot of like salty Giants fans I was seeing. Now, to be fair, I do think it was a really poorly called game referee wise on both sides.
Both sides for
I
sure.
think the tush push should have been a fumble,
Yeah,
but I also think that the Jackson Dart throw should have been a fumble.
yeah.
So, and and then the Giants fans were like, "Oh, well, the pass interference,
It's like, oh, if his hand's going forward motion. I'm just like, even if it's forward motion, like if the ball gets
the
knocked out,
ball, his hand was back here. Like if he was
yeah,
like here, I can understand, but he was back here. Like
it just
that rule is
it
so dumb. It needs to be fixed because it's so ticky tacky. Like
yeah. Yeah,
it,
I would say so. I also would say, to Eagles fans, to enjoy the tush push one more year because this
oh, it's
does might
definitely
take
getting
a
banned.
ban. And I'm just like, you know what,
100%.
ban it. Because I'm so sick. I'm so sick of the discourse behind it.
Oh, I know.
People are saying like, oh, it's not a football player. This is all they do. Well, 9 times out of 10, your favorite quarterback and your favorite team is trying the same exact play and failing. I've seen
Yep.
it happen multiple times. So people love to talk shit about the freaking tush push. But at the end of the day, if it were really that easy, everybody would be successful at it. And I see week in and week out teams often fail at it. So they really just want it banned because it's such an advantageous play for us, for the
Oh
Eagles.
yeah.
They're the best at it. But you know what? I'm sick of the discourse. So ban it. They're probably just going to do a QB sneak anyway. And our quarterback can squat 600 pounds. Stop
Facts.
me if you've heard that before. And I'm sure that he can still get the 2 yards. So just ban
Oh,
the freaking
easily.
play. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. They really. I feel like they actually haven't used it as much the last couple games. It's just been a couple times, but
They haven't
yeah,
been in
it's
short yardage
yeah.
situations.
But no, I mean I everything else I pretty much echo what you were saying. Um I don't know if Petula is finally getting comfortable and that or like, we just got lucky and played the same team we played 2 weeks ago and they had a feel for how to beat them this time.
Yeah.
Um I think there's still going to be growing pains for a bit, but I mean, offensively, I think they struggled a little bit, but then, when they took advantage of their opportunities, I mean, you tell me Saquon Barkley is going to have 14 carries, 150 yards, 10 clip average, and then Tank Bigsby is going to come in with 9 carries for 104 yards, like, and convert a second and 30,
Yeah.
like on a
That was
run.
that was a beautiful run. I was watching that. I'm just like, all right, they're just gonna run it here, run some clock and yeah, and then to just see Tank just break away and convert
I
that.
yeah, I was really watching. I'm like, here comes a waste. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh,
I
hold
was
on
like,
now, hold on now.
yeah, looks like AJ Dillon and
Trade
Will
bait.
Shipley might be seeing less playing time. Well, Will Shipley, a kick returner. I think he had some nice plays in special teams as well, where he got some good positive yardage for a great to get the Eagles great starting field position.
Yeah,
So I don't mind having him at that returner spot. And then AJ Dillon, it's like
I mean, we have a pretty stacked running back group. I like them all. Obviously, Bigsby, if hopefully this isn't an outlier game. I mean, he led the Jags in rushing last year, so it's not like he can't do it.
Yeah,
Um, and Shipley, I think he was. They basically flip-flopped because he was injured. So then Dylan started taking second team reps. And then they needed a kick returner, so they brought in Bigsby. But now that Shipley's healthy, they wanted him to kick return and then to alleviate his time at second running back and put Tank in there. So I don't know. They're just rotating guys, but
yeah.
um, that was great. I think the defense I'm still a little shaken about. I think they are underperforming. Um,
Need Nolan Smith back, man.
and it's I'm waiting for Jalen Hunt to have that like breakout game, but he's just not. Granted, he didn't play a ton of football, so I think this is still him growing and learning. I think he's looked a little better the last few games.
Yeah.
But we just need to get home. I mean, 5 sacks as a team is great. They finally got after it, but it needs to definitely needs to improve.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, with Jelix, I think that this is I like kind of like where he's how much he's progressed because you hear the stories and him talking in some of the interviews that he's done about how when he got to the Eagles he had to learn how to play football.
yeah,
You know, like he was doing a lot of shitty plays that like a lot of things that were like bad habits or just weren't what you were supposed to do, like trying these weird stunts. And then because of the discipline and the coaching and the veterans in the room with the Eagles, going up against a guy like Lane Johnson week in
yeah.
and week out in practice. He's really come along really well, but I think that he's kind of starting to plateau a little bit, and
Hmm.
I would like to see him take that next step. And I think that that might happen once we get Nolan Smith on the other side, or when BG starts to take some snaps, to kind of just like alleviate all of the snaps that he's been taking now with us being with them being so thin at edge, with just Boucher and Jalix, and I don't even know who the third person would be um, at edge, but
Yeah.
I mean BG, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith. I like that core three. I would love to see them make another move before the trade deadline and get somebody like a Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips,
Yeah.
but I don't think that they're gonna go. I don't think that they're gonna go for that.
I think they'll get another depth guy, but they're not gonna go, get a plug and play starter.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean Nolan, I feel like Nolan he played how many games did he even play this year? Was it just 2 or 3? Like he's been
I
out
think
for
he
a minute.
I think he played three or two. Yeah, I think it was just two, and
Yeah.
then he re-aggravated the tricep, I think.
Which worries me. Like, how do we know it's not gonna happen again?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's a tricky injury.
but
But I did want to
yeah.
ask you one last thing about the Eagles before we talked about the next things. This is an annoying question that it's all over the media, but I have to ask.
Uh,
What do you think about the whole AJ Brown situation? Because it's so jarring to see
it's
how much him and Jalen's relationship has seemingly deteriorated. Like I don't know if he's trolling or if he's trying to get the media to just interpret it the way that they want to interpret it. But it really just seems like him and Jalen just like their relationship is like deteriorating or
yeah.
deteriorated.
I, I've been this whole situation has really been bothering me because I really respect AJ. I really like AJ,
I love him.
but the way he's just been going about this is really souring my feelings on him. And I still love him, but like it gets to a point where like I don't want to say like, shut up and dribble, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like in the off season at training camp, he said he will do anything it takes to help this team win to get to another championship. And he said, you know what? I feel great. I feel like this is gonna be my best year yet, blah, blah, blah. But that first line, I will do anything it takes to help this team win. Don't go out there and bitch and complain that you're not getting the ball if that's not what you're actually about. Like he can't. And then he said in another interview like a week or two ago, like, yeah, like I'm here to help the team win, but I want to get my volume. Like you gotta like you can't have both. Like
Yeah,
you
you
pick and
can. I
choose.
mean,
Like
ideally,
in a perfect world,
ideally,
you get the ball, and that's why we win. But right
I
now,
get
it's
it.
not the formula. So
I get it, because I see how a lot of these lesser teams are scheming open guys that have less resources. Like
yeah,
you look at McVay and what he does with Puka Nacua, how like he's scheming this guy wide open and getting him all of the reps, all of the receptions. and you're looking at other teams that are lesser than the Eagles, and they're getting their star receivers like the Bucks. Who the Bucks didn't have Ibuka or Evans, and Tej
Or
Johnson was
Godwin.
yeah, and Tej Johnson was getting crazy receptions and getting schemed open, and you're just like, man, like this guy's a first year. Baker Mayfield has had a different offensive coordinator pretty much every
Yeah.
year in the Bucks. So like, why can't I don't understand where the discourse is or where the discommunication is between the coaching staff with the Eagles and Jalen and AJ. But I think ultimately what matters is wins, and he cares too much about the volume and the receptions, and he's being a typical,
Deep
stereotypical
receiver.
NFL
Yeah.
receiver, and I hate that because man, like, do you prefer to be in a competitive team that's competing for Super Bowls, or do you prefer to be somewhere where you're going to get 200 yards? Like Jamar Chase, do you prefer to be on the Bengals?
Yeah. You want to go back to the Titans?
Go back to the
Like,
Titans, or it's just confusing. I don't really know. I mean, I hope
I-
that they figure it out, but ultimately, it's just really, really disappointing to
it's
see.
just, it's just so baffling because then I see him like reposting, Reed Blankenship's, Instagram posts about about the win, and then I see him commenting on Cooper DeJean, and so like he's all about his like teammates and
Yeah,
like he's trying to be supportive and all this, and then but then like I don't know, like you said, he has a weird agenda
it
against
just
the
seems
offense and Jalen and
it seems like it's mostly Jalen that he just
and I
doesn't
did
with
I
it.
saw somebody saying that they think part of it is they were both, grinding at a time when they were best friends. And now they're at a point where they are both alphas and they both are trying to be leaders on this team and both trying to decide what's kind of right and what's like the best way to win and best way to go about things, whatever. So maybe their ideals are clashing now. I don't know, but um,
I don't know. I mean, as long as
it's
as long as we're winning, it's fine. But I could just see this becoming a real problem as they get deeper into the season, and you have those moments where you really are in close games and you have to rely on that connection.
yeah.
It's just not there. But we'll see. There's still plenty of football to be played.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I would be I put it at a 5% chance he gets traded.
I think if he gets traded, it'll happen in the offseason. I don't think it'll be something that's going to happen at the deadline.
They can't really afford to trade. I mean,
The cap.
you can't run with Devontae and Jahan Dotson as your one and twos.
No, no, you can't do
You
that.
need that alpha big man 50-50 ball guy. I mean Devontae's 50-50, but yeah, we can talk birds all day. But overall, good comeback game. Going to the bye, Jalen had a great game. 15 completions, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He's 20-1 touchdown to interceptions on the season,
Cooking.
which the passing touchdowns, he's actually like top five, I think, in the NFL. Or he's like right behind Stafford or something. Like he's doing really, really well all of a sudden. So, but elsewhere, we had a rough Thursday game. The Chargers beat up on the Vikings 37-10. I gotta say, I know the whole Carson Wentz thing in Philly didn't work out, but like, and I know his career kind of went downhill after his injury, and he never really was. He's always been a gamble at quarterback. But man, you kind of feel bad for him the way the Vikings just kind of let him stay in the game, and he had what like a something torn in his shoulder, and he was just playing through it, getting clobbered because his offensive line couldn't block for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and the game was out of reach, and they were still sending him out there, and I'm like, kind of
Yeah, it's
crazy, like disrespectful, like
you hate to see that. I mean, that was kind of messed up, but at the end of the day, I wonder if he, was pleading his case to stay in the game or what was going on. But regardless, I mean, as the coach, you kind of have to, make a call there and do what's best for your guy. And I was never like once he fell off in Philly, I wasn't really like a huge Carson Wentz guy. I
yeah,
did want him to succeed. It didn't work out, didn't succeed in Washington, and now he's kind of just like struggling for a roster spot. And then you go to the Super Bowl as a backup, and lose to the team that you used to
yeah,
be
yeah,
on.
that's kind of
So I feel for Carson, I do. But I think that it's safe to say that I think that he's probably going to enjoy a few more years in the NFL as a backup somewhere, year to year.
Yeah, he's probably still got that passion to want to play, but I mean, see how bad is because he's out for the year now. So see how bad that injury is after surgery, and maybe retire. He's about to hit 10
He's made a
years.
ton of money. He's made a ton of money. He made a ton of money with the Eagles,
Yeah, he did.
so
Yeah, he
he can
did.
absolutely live a very comfortable life.
But
So best wishes to Carson, man. Speedy recovery.
yeah, so that was Thursday's game, and then Sunday action, the Dolphins beat the Falcons 34-10. Falcons got to be the most confusing team I might have ever watched in my lifetime. Like one week they look like they could win the division, then the next week they look like they're a bottom five team. So,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
no,
It doesn't make any sense that you're the best running back in the league at 14 rushing yards. I don't really understand that. I know that you got to get the running game going, but you can't get the running game going unless you hand the ball off to your running back or try
correct.
to get him involved somehow. I didn't watch too much of the game because I was frustrated, but that was by far the most frustrating performance. Because I understand, Kirk Cousins coming in for the first time, and I don't know how long, but that should be even more of a reason for you to design your game plan against the worst running defense in the league,
Yeah.
mind you, because they've allowed, go back and look at every game prior to this one. The yards that they've allowed to running backs is insane. And I expected Bijan to go off, and he had less than 25 rushing yards. That is
Crazy.
inexcusable.
Crazy. Yeah. So, but the Dolphins, hey, Tua looked pretty good. He had an eye infection, so he had to wear a visor. Apparently, he plays better with an eye infection. So
Yeah, yeah. Pink eye too.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But next game we had the Ravens with the backup Huntley beat the Bears 30-16. Do you think this tells you more about the Ravens' resiliency or that the Bears weren't really for real yet?
I think it's more about the Ravens starting to get a little healthier on defense.
Yeah.
Their defense looked like it was definitely a lot more put together now that they got some of their guys back. I forget who exactly it was that came back. I think it was I think Marlon Humphrey or not Marlon Humphrey.
Was it Hamilton? Or Hamilton's been back.
Yeah, Van Noy's back already. Humphrey's back. Hamilton's back. Roquan Smith.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
pretty big one.
yeah, Roquan's back. Yeah, your green dot wearer on
Top five
defense.
linebacker in the league. Yeah, that's pretty important.
Yeah, outside of beside Kyle Hamilton, I think that the defense getting healthy is huge. I think that honestly, I mean, you look at the betting markets, the Ravens are favored to win somehow
Insane.
that division.
Insane. Because it's such a bad, like, the Steelers are mid, the
Yeah,
Browns are bad, the Bengals are bad. Like, they could literally win the division with a negative record. It's pretty bad.
yeah. I mean, at 2-5, their couple slated games is not really terrible. They got the Vikings, the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Bengals again. So
Yeah.
they can definitely go on a run, if Lamar comes back and gets healthy. I can see them still being competitive, but I've seen too much this year on the defensive side of the ball, even when they were healthy, that they just don't look like a team that I think could make a deep playoff run. But yeah, that's my thoughts on them. The Bears got to get it together. I'm sick of their shit. Um, but that's another. I can do a whole segment on Caleb Williams and the
Uh,
Bears. But there's a lot of things wrong with that team. It's not just Caleb. But I think that they'll come along. They're more of a long term project.
um, the team that finally got a win, the Jets beat the Bengals 39-38. Um, you could imagine my confusion when my sleeper fantasy football app sent me a notification that Brees Hall threw a touchdown to Mason Taylor.
Yeah, I was baffled. This was definitely, the Nick Mangold game. Rest in peace to the great center, died 41 years old. And when I saw the news break, very sad. But I knew that the Jets were probably going to win. Because like if you look at, for
There's Nick
example,
Castellanos.
yeah, yeah. Too bad the Phillies weren't playing. Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's like the Colts. Rest in peace, Jim Irsay. Now
Yeah.
they're having like the greatest season that they've ever had, which is crazy. But it's just one of those things, that motivating factor. And I expected them to win that game, but I was looking at the score and they were down, and then like there was no time left, and they were down, and then they were up. Like something happened late in the
Yeah.
game for
They were
them to
down
win.
16 at one point, I think. I don't know what happened or
Yeah,
something
I
like
didn't. I
that.
can't say that I watched many snaps of that game. That was definitely relegated to
Maybe five people watch that
exclusively,
game.
yeah, exclusively to when they were on red zone. But yeah, shout out to the Jets finally getting a win.
Yeah, it was a high scoring game too, like kind of crazy. But
Yeah,
Bengals are a weird team too, but they're you know, shitty
yeah,
defense will do that to you.
they're good, man. Their ownership sucks. They don't like to
Oh
spend.
yeah, no.
That's why Joe Burrow's always hurt because they don't invest in that offensive line. They say that they do, but they don't. It's sad. It's malpractice, but
He's
not my team.
Joe Burrow's the new Andrew Luck.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Uh Bills got back on the winning side of things 40-9 over the Panthers. I mean, I don't think this is a good look for the Panthers because it's, Andy Dalton was playing. At least with Bryce, you had like a little bit of rhythm. He was efficient. But yeah, the Bills needed this game. I mean, Cook just cooked. 200 plus yards is crazy. I feel like some of these, like him and Taylor, Jonathan Taylor, are just
Um,
crazy right now. But
yeah, of course, I was going up against James Cook in fantasy. That was nasty, and I was going up against like a clear mismatch. I'm like all of my opponents' star players were on a bye, and of course, like James Cook single-handedly cooked me. But yeah, they needed that nice moral win, confidence builder for the Chiefs this weekend. Because historically we know that the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season and then lose in the playoffs.
yep.
So, I almost want to see the Chiefs beat them in the regular season because
So
I'm like,
flip
maybe
it,
you guys
flip the
will,
script.
maybe you guys will beat them in the playoffs, man. Like, I can't. Like, obviously, I want the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl, and they're in
Yeah.
the NFC, so it doesn't even matter. But I just want to see someone else represent the AFC, man. I don't care that people call me a hater. I'm just so sick of it. Like,
Just give me Eagles, Bills, or Eagles, Ravens. That's all I want.
Eagles, Bills, Eagles, Ravens, even the Eagles, Colts. Let's make it interesting. Let's
Oh
make
my
it nasty.
God.
But like, let's just anybody but the
Can you
Chiefs.
imagine if the Colts went and won the Super Bowl and the Giants fans had to see Saquon win last year and then this year they have to see Jones win? I mean, they're
That's
probably pretty content with Dart now, but
no, man.
it's still
They
funny.
gotta go. They gotta clean house, but they won't.
Yeah. Um, Surprise game to me, although I did pick the Texans. They beat the 49ers 26-15. The 49ers
Pretty
are a
solid.
weird team, man. They're literally
Yeah.
all CMC, and their defense isn't. It's good, not great. It's not the classic Niners of the last 10 years defense.
Yeah, they just, man, they're so incredibly decimated by
Oh,
injuries.
always.
Like them and the Ravens are just like they're having this season from hell again.
It's like their
Uh,
trainers are actively trying to sabotage teams.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like it's just such bad luck because it's not even soft tissue injuries. It's like traumatic
Yeah,
season-ending injuries, and I'm just
yeah,
like, man, what is going on? But they're still winning games. They were still winning games with Mac Jones. But I think that the QB controversy is over.
yeah,
I think you can see, and I think D'Amico Ryans also has a lot to do with that. Ex 49ers defensive coordinator. He knows
yeah.
Shanahan well. So the game plan that he schemed up was real good, and enough to beat the Niners. And they're just it's so impressive seeing Shanahan do what he does with so little. And that's why whenever I hear 49ers fans complain about Shanahan and say that they want to make a change, I'm like, Shanahan would have a job the moment he would walk out of that building.
Yeah,
He is the offensive mind, one of the offensive minds of the NFL. He's a great coach. He is not the problem.
yeah. Um, and then Texan side, it's they got it back in the win column. Stroud looked pretty decent, so
Yeah,
good for them.
good for CJ.
Patriots beat the Browns 32-13 in a game where Myles Garrett had 5 sacks.
And a loss.
How bad do you have to be as a team to let that happen?
I did feel bad for Myles Garrett in previous years, but
That motherfucker signed that contract. He knew what
he
he
had an
was getting
opportunity to
into.
walk, and he would have gotten paid a lot of money anywhere he would have gone, and he signed it. So listen, complain all you want, brother, but you had the opportunity to walk and you didn't take it.
I
Regardless,
respect it. Like, stick with one team, try to
no,
build
man.
something, but that's not the franchise you
If
want.
that's your mentality, then don't complain about wins and losses.
Agreed. Agreed.
If you don't care about if you don't care about it, wins and losses, you just want the money, you just want to stay comfortable in Cleveland, cool. But at the end of the day, you kind of dug your own grave, man. I don't feel bad for you anymore. You just got to deal with it. But I do hope, for the love of God, just let Shador play one game. I understand that the kid is, kind of a brat. He has maturing to do. He makes himself the villain and makes himself unlikable with some of these comments that he makes. But just give him an opportunity because, God, Dylan Gabriel sucks. He's so bad. He sucks. Deshaun Watson can't even play football anymore. Bailey Zappi, do you really want to play Bailey Zappi? You want to watch Bailey
I
Zappi
didn't know he
football?
was still in the league.
He's on the Browns. Like, it's crazy. I don't know, man. The Browns are a joke. I would love Kevin Stefanski to get a different job
Oh, come be
because
offensive coordinator for the Birds. They'll take you
I'll take
immediately.
Stefanski or McDaniel, honestly. Like, I'm cool with either one, but it's not going to happen.
Uh, then some quick games you don't really have to touch much on. Colts took care of business against the Titans 38-14. The Bucks took care of the Saints 23-3. And
Yeah,
the Chiefs, while they were tied at halftime, kind of blew out the Commanders 20-7. To took that. I thought Commanders might have done it, but we did have a couple of milestones in that game. Zach Ertz, former Eagle great, 100 or 800 career receptions, which is sixth most all time for any tight end, which that's pretty fucking dope.
good.
Um, and then Kelsey passed Priest Holmes for most touchdowns in Chiefs history. So good day for
Yeah,
tight ends
yeah. Tight end week
and
capped
weekend.
off. Tight end weekend capped off with a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey was looking like vintage Kelsey, and I wish that Zach Ertz would have found the end zone because I would have made a lot of money. But that's how the betting markets go.
Yep. Um, Loved seeing the Broncos just beat off that's not the right word. Beat the Cowboys 44-24.
You
Um,
need to clip that.
yeah, the Cowboys, they were never really even in this game. Dak had his worst game of the season. Sucks the Broncos did lose Surtain for a couple games, got injured, but other than that, I mean, yeah, Broncos are pretty legit. I mean, they beat us, obviously, beat the
Yeah,
Birds.
no, they're good. They're good. I like their defense is legit when they're healthy.
Yeah.
Without Sertan, we're really going to see, if they can keep that up. But yeah, I don't feel bad for the Cowboys and their woes. I don't know what it is about Dak, man. I don't want. I just can't stand Dak, bro. Like I hate him. Like every time someone tells me I look like him, it really pisses me off. Um, I've just I've been watching him play for years and seeing him in situations like, shortcomings in the playoffs. And the guy just rarely taking accountability in the biggest moments when
Yeah.
clearly, the deficiency was on him, not just on like the team, but it starts with you. Just the lack of accountability really rubs me the wrong way. Apart from the fact that like they are the antagonist in the story of the Eagles,
Of
the
course, of
rival.
course.
I get it. So, it's ingrained in me to just hate Dallas, but so many things about that organization, starting with Dak, I just can't stand. And Jerry, I mean, Jerry needs to,
Self-explanatory.
he needs to go away. And like not in like a light sense, like
Well,
don't step on anybody, even though he's not the best person historically speaking. But he just needs to go away.
he
Every time I
definitely
see
he
him,
definitely gives off slave master vibes.
I mean, the guy was literally in the crowd protesting, integrating black people with white people in schools, but we're not going to go there. Let's just move on.
Um, yeah, Dak is Prescott's First of all, he's a fake Dakota because it's his middle name. So not even a real
Dakota.
Dakota.
Yeah.
But he I do think he's played better this year, and obviously his numbers looked pretty MVP-ish for a while. But yeah, he just can't like he's not clutch. He doesn't get it the big games. He doesn't win the big games, and
No.
he's been in the league for like 10 years now. So
He plays at an MVP level for like half or three-quarters of the season,
yeah,
even the whole
and
season.
it falls apart.
To the playoffs, gives everybody hope. We them boys,
We
and then they're
don't
not.
boys.
Then they fall short. And honestly, I'm here for it. I love the cycle. I love seeing Cowboys fans get excited. It's great because I'm just like you're gonna be so crushed when they let you down again. And it's all
Yeah,
Jerry's fault. It starts with Jerry.
yeah.
Because if he were to make competent moves, Michael Parsons would still be a Cowboy. And you probably maybe would be competitive with the Eagles for the division.
Maybe, maybe.
And that offense is high powered, man. They got a great
They
offense.
they've always had a good offense. It's just their defense and they're not consistent. That's just their biggest problem. So
Matt Eberflus masterclass.
yeah. And then the last game, Packers Steelers in Pittsburgh. Surprisingly, the first time Rodgers has played the Packers since he left.
Yeah,
Um, and it was pretty much all Packers. It felt like they looked like obviously the better team.
yeah. For sure.
Um, Love had a good game. Um, I saw Micah Parsons get past three offensive linemen to sack Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Um, and
Dude's
and
a
the Cow
monster.
and the Cowboys just said, "Yeah, we don't need this."
They were like, don't need it. Easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers, he's like 44, whatever. I'm not,
thousand. Yeah,
I'm not really, I don't really care about the Steelers. They're all in, but they're just mediocre. They're the same team every single year, like the same 9-8 team.
highest, really the highest paid defense in the league, and they're like middle of the road, if not worse. TJ
Doesn't
Watt has been very quiet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's only so much he can do. He's one guy, and it's just
Yeah.
like, man, like you're just not competitive in these games. And it's like when you win games, like it's never really like super decisive. You're never just like, yeah, like I can hang my head on the fact that like my team, the offense is great, the defense is great. Like they can win these games decisively. They can make a playoff run. The offense just it just doesn't look like the kind of offense that you would want to take into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they'll be in the mix like they always are.
It's a weird conversation too, because like what point is mediocrity like is enough? Like how many, that's the only reason Andy Reid left like them and the Eagles separated is because we were great for so many years. And then we hit a point where it was just like we were repeating a cycle of, 500 level teams or worse, just not meeting the standard. And so they parted ways so that Andy Reid could have a refresh, the Eagles could have a refresh. Like
Yeah,
at what
and
point do the Steelers say like, all right, we have not gotten deep in the playoffs in years. Like what's got to give? So
um, I think that they gotta. I think Mike Tomlin is an amazing coach. I would love to have him as my coach. That being said, I think there's more of a case to part ways with him than there is with Shanahan because Shanahan has made it to Super Bowls even though he's lost them.
yeah,
Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in I don't know how long.
it's been like I think like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, so they got to do something. They got to make a change. I mean, you paid DK all that money. You went all in. You got a lot of 1 year deals on your team that are probably not going to work out. So next year, I don't know. I think it'd be like a perfect time to make a change if this doesn't work out, which it's not going to.
Alrighty, that was our recap of Week 8 NFL games. Eagles are, like I said, a couple times on a bye this week, so they get some much needed rest. I think they actually get an extra day because I think they play the Packers on Monday Night
Monday
Football,
Night Football, yeah,
so
which
they
is
get an extra
great.
day.
It's Halloween weekend. I can focus on festivities.
There you go.
Not care about, well, I care about football, obviously, but like not worry about like I gotta be at my TV to watch the Eagles at this time. I can just throw Red Zone on
Yep,
and just like mindlessly watch football.
we love that. So I'll hit you with some too much whiz. So just, we hit you with three overreactions from the weekend and see is it too much whiz, as in like we pump the brakes, it's an overreaction, or not enough, and you're agreeing with what we're saying here. So, starting
Sure.
off, too much whiz. Jonathan Taylor is not only this year's Saquon Barkley, but may do what he didn't and win MVP.
I don't think he's going to win MVP. Too much
Okay.
whiz. He would have to have a season. He would have to break Eric Dickerson's record, which I don't think is going to happen.
Mm.
But he might. And if he does,
His
then I would say,
touchdowns, I think his touchdowns are on pace to be insane. But
yeah, if he does, I think that there's a case for it. But man, he's just he's got three touchdown games. Unheard of. It's crazy. So yeah, he's definitely offensive player of the year, front runner by far right now. But MVP, it kind of sucked because I'm just like, man, Saquon, the year Saquon had. But at the end of the day, game respects game. He's having a career year, the guy.
all right. Next point. Too much whiz. James Cook is currently more important than Josh Allen.
Wild, man. I'm not even, I'm not even gonna comment on that. What the fuck?
I mean, Josh Allen's been kind of mid so far this year, you know? I'm just throwing it out there.
Disrespectful, bro. So disrespectful. No, don't. That's crazy. I mean, James Cook is very crucial to that offense. I think that they don't. I think that they underutilize him a lot of the time. I think that he really alleviates a lot of the necessity to make Josh Allen have to scramble for extra yards. He's keeping Josh Allen healthy in a sense.
Hmm.
I think that my prediction of like trades is Chris Olave to the Bills.
I think
Because
Olave's going to get moved, yeah.
he's the missing piece for that offense. You need a guy like Olave to pair with Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman for Josh Allen to have that like 50-50 ball guy, sure downfield threat. I think that Olave would be great if he can stay healthy and unconcussed. Um, but yeah, Josh Allen is by far the most important aspect. You think Mitch Trubisky would win games like Josh Allen does?
No, 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 no.
No,
Let
yeah.
me let me let me flip it real quick then. So too much whiz. Do you think James Cook will end up having a more, I don't want to say distinguished, like a better NFL career than his brother Dalvin Cook?
Tough. Because Dalvin had some,
Dalvin, I think at his peak was really, really good.
yeah. And
James
he's like,
Cook is also really good, but I don't like Dalvin, I think at times was like a top three running back.
yeah,
I don't know if I would put James Cook in top three. He's definitely top 10.
yeah, he's top 10, but they're just two different kinds of running backs. Like James is he's faster, he's shiftier because he's smaller.
Yeah.
He's slimmer than Dalvin. Dalvin is stocky, he was a strong back,
Yeah,
more downhill, kind of like a Derrick Henry type, even though nobody's Derrick Henry.
that's true.
Uh, so I think that James Cook will have a great career, but ultimately, when it's all said and done, I would probably bet that Dalvin. It also depends on the longevity and like how long he plays and when the drop
Yeah.
off. He's relatively young,
Yeah.
so
I could see that's to me it's a similar like JJ Watt, TJ Watt argument. Like you kind of find some holes to make your case for either or, but
yeah,
the
yeah.
older brother I think is typically the superior one at this point. So,
We'll
and
see.
then my last one, which you kind of touched on a little bit, too much whiz with the Bengals still falling apart, Steelers a question mark, and the Browns. Is this division the Ravens to lose?
This division, the Ravens to lose.
Meaning they
Yeah,
have the driver's seat
yeah, I think it's all ahead of them. So I would say not
at
too
two
much
and
with
five.
at 2-5, which is crazy to say.
Insane.
I think it's all about the remaining schedule. Like the remaining schedule is relatively pretty easy. So I think that it is their division. They still have it all in front of them, but it also depends on Lamar's health, whether or not he can stay healthy. With Lamar, I think that they will absolutely win the division.
Mm.
Uh, if he can't stay healthy and we see more Snoop Huntley.
Snoop.
Probably not. I could see the Steelers coming in, at the 11th hour and snatching it away from them. But besides the Steelers and the Ravens, the Bengals are dead. They are a mediocre franchise,
Yeah,
and
I
the
think.
the
Yeah.
Browns are even more mediocre. Um,
Hey, I'll
so
take
yeah,
Zach Taylor. Give me Zach Taylor, offensive coordinator.
it's like, man, like if you don't want to spend money, if you don't want to spend money on resources as an
Yeah.
owner, sell the fucking team.
Yeah.
Like you have a top five quarterback in the league, like a freaking generational talent. He could be a generational talent if you just surrounded him with the pieces that he needs, with the protection. You already gave him the receivers. You got a good running back. Invest in the protection and invest in your defense, man. Like they just Trey Hendrickson, why is he not extended? I understand the age, and if you're not going to extend him, trade him because it's a 1 year deal. So he's going to walk in free agency, and you're not
Yeah.
going to get anything for him. That's malpractice. That's organizational malpractice, and it pisses me off. But you know what?
Especially when a player like that wants, like, over and over keeps saying he wants to stay, he wants to stay, and they're just like, eh.
You don't even have to pay him like top of the market for because the edge rusher market is crazy.
Always fluctuates.
Fair
Yeah.
deal. But you don't have to pay him Miles Garrett money, and you don't have to give him a super long extension. He's older. Give him a 3 or 4 year extension. Give him sprinkle in some guaranteed money in there, some incentives. You don't have to do a crazy deal, but they just don't like to spend money, man, and that's why they're going to continue to be mediocre. Sell the team. Just sell the team to somebody who will spend the money.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to think of, like, what is the, like, real life comparison to, like, the Bengals saying, "Hey, here's our quarterback. We're gonna pay you a shit ton of money. Oh, by the way, there's these two receivers we're gonna let keep. We're gonna keep them here. We're gonna give them tons of money, but your offensive line, we're gonna put in some turnstiles. All right, like what? It's like buying like a $30,000 car, or three, like buying a Porsche and putting it in a garage held up by toothpicks.
We've
Like it's
all
gonna
seen them.
get it's gonna get messed up. Like why? Like you got to
It,
support the foundation. You
it
need a line.
sucks. It sucks. They could be so great. I love watching as an objective football watcher when the Bengals work, when the team is really put together. Joe Burrow, he just cooks, man. Jamar Chase, like people talk about Justin Jefferson as the best receiver in the league, but to me, it's Chase because of his ability to just make plays. Like he's a
Hmm.
playmaker. He's strong. He's fast. He's an incredible route runner. And a 50-50 ball is it's not even 50-50. Like if he can touch it, he's probably going to catch it,
Yeah.
which is just crazy to think about the fact that him and JJ were on the same team
Oh
with
yeah.
LSU. That's
I saw a video where it was like showing the lineup for the LSU versus Alabama game, and it was like all pro players scattered throughout that entire, like those teams were unreal.
yeah, that team. And I think it was the '03 or '02 um,
Miami.
Miami team with Greg
Yeah.
Olson. Yeah, like the two best college football teams we'll ever see in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Now with like the whole, NIL and being able to pay players, I don't think that we'll ever see anything like that again. But man, that was fun to watch.
It was something for sure. But um we digress. We move on to our game picks. Last week, not to toot my own horn, but I'm currently 3 weeks in a row. I've been the number one finisher. I've come in first place, and I've been holding down my first place overall with 81 wins to 40 losses. You think that I'd be making money off these games, but I'm not.
And
Um,
it's impressive though, right?
it, this might be my best year for game picks so far. But this week I went 10-3. Tim went, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 8-5. And then we had Sam, our buddy from high school. He went 9-4. So guest picks, Mike, all you got to do, Mike, is keep guest picks rolling. You guys are in second place right now. So, um, and you were, I think, week 2. I think you picked games. So you have your second round coming up here. So starting off Thursday night, I do believe Lamar Jackson is playing. And it's Ravens at the Dolphins. Let you roll it off with your pick here.
Ravens and Dolphins. Ravens roll. Derrick Henry goes off for 2 touchdowns. Lock it in.
Oh shit. Let me put that in my FanDuel right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, DraftKings, because DraftKings is better touchdown parlays, I think, than or bonus offers, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ravens, this might be like that. This might have been the turning point Sunday when they finally got off the losing streak there. And um, man, to go from 2-5 to potentially winning your division just because you got healthy at the right time. I mean, same thing with like look at the Dodgers. I mean, they obviously a very different scenario, but the Dodgers should have finished with the number one record in the MLB, but they were injured for a lot of the second half and then got healthy right at playoffs, and now they're playing the World Series. But um, which I'm surprised that the not to get off topic, but that the Jays have actually tied the series at 2-2.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a sweep or one game, but
Oh, man, they want to win. They want that bad. It's awesome watching a team like the Jays that just want it more than
18 innings the
they want it more than
game
anything.
three, man.
I hate the Jays because I'm a Yankees fan, but go Jays, I guess, because fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck the touch. Speaking of LA, we have the Chargers at the Titans. Is there any reason to ever pick the Titans to win a game the rest of the year?
If they play Georgia,
Yes. Georgia, I think Georgia would win.
no. They can play, honestly, they can play the best college team, and the worst NFL team is always going to roll. But no, I'd say, yeah, there's never a reason to pick them. Go Chargers.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think the last game I'm going with the Ravens, and then this one, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers here too. 49ers at the Giants. I mean, Giants could use a win. But no neighbors, no scatterbrain. Um, the Niners also lost, so I think they got to come back and get a dub here.
hey man, listen, shout out to Cam, have a speedy recovery, my guy. It sucks to go out of the game like that, even though I hate the Giants. But you never want to see that from a rookie, who's
True.
just starting off. So speedy recovery to you. But with that being said, I do think that this is going to be a disgusting game. I think that this is going to be like not watchable at times. And I think the 49ers are going to pull away with a win some way, somehow. But don't be surprised.
All field goals.
Don't be surprised, right? Don't be surprised if the Giants, pull a rabbit out of the hat last
Little
minute.
spark.
Yeah, yeah. Wandale Robinson, a little, 60-yard touchdown or something like that, something crazy. But yeah,
Alrighty. But you're going with the Niners.
yeah, I'm going with the Niners.
Okay. Next game, Vikings at the Lions. Another game where I feel like there's a clear favorite here. Maybe if it was in Minnesota and McCarthy had a couple more healthy games under his belt, but their Vikings are kind of on the bad side of things right now. They're kind of reeling. So I'm going to take Detroit here off a bye, I'm pretty sure too. So
Yeah, Lions roll. Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown, 125 all-purpose scrimmage yards.
just throw it in parlays as we go.
I'm just gonna hand out picks.
All right, each one I'm expecting something. Falcons at the Patriots. Is this an obvious pick here with the Pats, or are we thinking the Falcons is this a
It
50-50?
depends. I think that Drake London will not play, and I also think that Michael Penix is day to day. So I'm going to go ahead and say Pats, um, which it would really suck for the Falcons because this is going to put them deeper in that hole for
Yeah.
the South. Looking like another throwaway year for the Falcons. But if Drake London and Michael Penix were playing, I would say that this is going to be like a competitive game where their offense could keep up.
Hmm.
Because defensively, they've just looked terrible the past 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Drake may continues his MVP season.
What's he gonna do? Two touchdowns, 200
Drake
yards.
May and the Falcons, I'd say 3 touchdowns.
Oh,
Kayshon Boutte, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah, lock that in
When I did my touchdown, as you know, Mike, I do a touchdown, an insane touchdown parlay every week.
every week.
Every week. And I stared down Kayshon Boutte. I'm like, I think he's gonna score. I think he's gonna score. And I was like, nah, it's tight end weekend. I'm not gonna do it. And then that motherfucker scored.
He
So
scores. He finds the end zone. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Pats too. I think the Falcons are, like you said. I don't know if Raheem Morris is the guy for them. It seems kind of like back and forth all the time, but I don't know. I think you also need to like stick with a coach. Like I feel like certain teams bail too fast and certain teams hold on too long, but Falcons, I think they're just confused. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say for sure. Yeah, I'm picking the Patriots here.
Colts at the Steelers. I do not expect the Steelers to have any kind of like, bounce back game here. I think the Colts are 100% legit. I think they're the best team in the NFL. So I'm taking Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis, best team in the NFL, because of how well coached they are. But Shane Steichen, what he's doing offensively, I miss him so much. I think about you sometimes, Shane. If you hear, I love you.
I just be sitting in my bed thinking
I'm
about
sorry that
my Shane.
Johnny Gans ruined your chance for a ring.
Ah, Jonathan Candidate.
But hey, we love you. Hope that you have the continued success unless you beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, in which case I will hate you again.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Um, Crazy thing too is the Colts defensive coordinator was defensive coordinator for the Bengals last year, and
Yeah.
they're actually playing really well. Crazy, crazy concept. You give a good defensive coordinator some players to work with.
The Drewski meme, he's like, you know, when you invest money in meaningful players. No
Yeah,
disrespect to like anybody on the Bengals, but
yeah,
there's a clear tier system in the NFL for great players and mediocre players, and the mediocre players are going to be cheaper. And you try to convince yourself that there's a chance. Let's take a flyer on this guy. It never works out, and that's what happens. Spend the money.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. You think a great coach can make an okay player good, but a good player great. But if you're just given a handful of okay players, you're gonna have a pretty down year. So
Nope.
got to give them something to work with. Um, it's like, a teacher who doesn't have students who want to learn. They could be the best teacher in the world, but if they don't want to learn, then what's the point?
Shout out to Philly.
Uh,
Philly public school system.
shout out Philly public schools. That's crazy. Next game we have is Broncos at the Texans.
Mhm.
This is actually kind of a surprising match. Like I'm tempted to pick the Texans here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Texans here, and I'll
Hmm.
tell you why. Pat Surtain being out, I think that they're really gonna test that defense out. I like the matchup. If Nico Collins is playing, I'm not sure if he's playing. Was he playing this week? Last week?
He did
Was he
play, I
playing?
believe, last week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Lock in Nico Collins for 90 plus yards and a touchdown.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They're gonna bully whoever's replacing Surtain.
I I actually agree. Like I agree with you. I think especially because the Broncos have been playing so well. They had that crazy comeback against the Giants. They decimated the Cowboys. I think it's going to come down to a little high, and I think this is one of those games where they overlook their opponent, and the Texans kind of take advantage of that. So I like the pick. I'll go Houston. Bears at the Bengals. Oh boy,
Nasty TV.
Battle of the Bees.
This is gonna be relegated to only.
Safeties only.
I'm only watching this if it's on Red Zone. I can't see myself watching a single snap of this game. However, I will say that I expect the Bears to win convincingly. But we'll see.
I think
Uh,
Flacco's hurt too.
Flacco's hurt, so they might have to go back to. Wait, I think is Browning even on the team anymore? I don't know. But whoever's playing quarterback,
I don't know where he would have went. Yeah.
it's gonna be nasty. But with that being said, I would lock in. You ready? I would lock in my boy DeAndre Swift
Mm.
for 60 plus yards and a touchdown.
60 rushing? Okay.
60 rushing, 60 rushing.
A touchdown. Okay.
I've
Okay.
never been on receiving yards for a running back unless their name is Bijan or Jameer Gibbs
Or CMC,
or CMC, yeah, because he's
who's
that
actually
old.
like top 10 in receiving yards in the league, which
Which
is
is
insane.
exactly why I'm just betting on you
But
more.
his odds are always terrible. So,
The odds are terrible, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, DeAndre Swift have an okay game and get a touchdown. But
Okay.
yeah, I think Bears roll.
Same sentiment. I think Bears, I think Bengals are a mess. So I'll take the Bears.
Yeah.
Panthers at the Packers. Yeah. In Lambeau, I don't see the Panthers. Panthers have a nice little story, but it's not gonna be nice on Sunday. So I'm
And
taking
I don't think Price is even playing, right? He's like out for
yeah, he might still be out. So I'll take Green Bay.
yeah, Green Bay convincingly. For Green Bay, I'm waiting on the Matthew Golden breakout day. I think it's going to be this game. So I'll
Oh,
take Golden for 90 plus yards. If you're really feeling fight, if you're really feeling like you want to juice it up, 90 yards for Golden. He has not gotten 90 yards this season, I don't think.
90.
Yeah, you don't even have to put the touchdown in there, but I think he's going to have a nice receiving day um, against a bad Panthers defense.
Okay. Okay. Um, Next game we have the Saints at the Rams. I think the Rams pretty clearly take care of business here. Um,
I think Puka's
the
coming back too.
Saints, I think Rattler's benched. So
Yeah, yeah.
but not that,
It's Shuck, or I think this is his name.
I don't know. He's not like he's going to do anything. So I'll take the Rams.
Oh, no, it's they are unwatchable. And they're even more unwatchable now without Rattler, which is crazy. But yeah, Rams by a lot, a lot. I could see them. If you want to juice up the spread here, I
Ooh,
would take Rams -10. I don't know what the line is currently. It's
it's
probably
10.
more than that. But if the line is anywhere like 10 or 12, I would juice it, add like maybe like a field goal to that
Hmm.
to get less money, good value because I don't see them keeping up, especially if Puka comes back and plays. It's gonna be a long day for Kellen Moore.
All
Super Bowl.
righty. Um, Sounds good. Let's see. Next game, the Jaguars at the Raiders.
Disgusting.
Two teams that are really struggling, but I think the Jags are an overall better team, so I will
Yeah,
take the Jaguars.
I like the Jaguars. I love Liam Cohen. I think he's such a good coach. I think that that's a really well coached team.
Hmm.
But I think that there's little things that hold them back, specifically Trevor Lawrence at times and
Yeah.
his decision making. But more than Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr. has just been awful this year.
Yeah, it's
He has
weird.
the most drops in the NFL, probably by a lot. It's crazy. Like there's so many plays that the ball just he can't catch it, and it's really frustrating because like him and Neighbors were awesome in LSU.
Oh yeah.
There's rumors circulating that they're taking trade calls. It would be, I think, that the perfect trade candidate, if they were willing to give up the capital for him, and if they were even willing to accept the trade, would obviously be the Commanders to pair him back up with Jaden Daniels. But
Yeah.
I think that this is a good Travis Hunter game. I think Travis Hunter goes off for 70 plus and a touchdown.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. With that being said, Jaguars,
Go
because
Jags. Okay.
the Raiders are unwatchable.
Yeah, they're I've never seen a quarterback take a bigger dive off of his plateau than Geno Smith. I mean, he
Yeah.
went from like a borderline top 10 as far as stats to like just
The offensive line.
unplayable.
Offensive line. Like
Yeah,
if you watch Ashton Genty on a lot of these runs, he gets
run
tackled
for
behind
his
the line of
life.
scrimmage
Yeah.
so much. Like he can't get a they can't create running lanes. They can't create, gaps
No.
for Ashton Genty to get going. And Gino's getting sacked. The protection just sucks. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But yeah, it's sad.
Um, Chiefs, like you alluded to earlier, Chiefs at the Bills, 4 o'clock, 4:25 Eastern time. Who we liking? Oh.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bill.
I
Bills,
thought you were
baby.
picking the Chiefs though to flip the
Oh,
script.
I can't pick the Chiefs. I just can't. The hater in me can't do it. I think that the Chiefs roll. I think that it comes down to like the fourth quarter, and it looks like the Chiefs are going to like I think that the Bills roll. I'm sorry. It looks like the
Yeah.
Chiefs are going to creep back in, but the Bills, Josh Allen puts his cape on. He rushes in for a touchdown. He always does against the Chiefs, so I would lock in a Josh Allen anytime rushing touchdown.
Okay.
Bills win decisively. But yeah,
Decisively. Oh.
maybe not super decisively. Let me walk that back. I'd say they win by at least a touchdown. They win by a touchdown, let's say. You
Okay.
know, maybe even six, maybe just 6 points. But
Okay.
yeah, if I wasn't an Eagles fan, like a huge Eagles fan, I would be a huge Bills fan because I love Josh Allen. He's so easy to root for. He's a great guy. That organization is full of great people and people that just seem like genuine people, but outside of football. And I love watching Bills Mafia go crazy. Second best fan base in the world behind your Philadelphia Eagles.
Hmm.
I would love to go to Highmark Stadium, the new one that they're building across the street.
Yeah.
Love to see that atmosphere and party with Bills Mafia. So always rooting for the Bills unless they're playing the Birds, which they will. Um, so yeah,
I will say, to cap off what you just said, I do like the Bills too as a team when not rooting for the Eagles. Um, and I still think it's it's probably up there with if like my number one favorite game I've ever attended live was the Eagles Bills Sunday night game we went to in the rain, in overtime, in
beautiful,
Kelly Green.
beautiful.
It was like the vibes were as excellent as they could have ever been.
So,
So
so for the people that don't know the story, I'm going to tell it real quick. All right.
it's a good story.
Dakota and I were waiting Xfinity Live. We were
Yep.
trying to get in for the game.
Hmm.
Raining. All right. And
Pouring.
it's about to start, and the line is not moving at Xfinity. So we're just like, man, I wish we could just go to the game. So I look at the tickets on Game Time. Shout out Game Time.
So game time.
And they're still expensive, but first quarter, midway past the first quarter, game's ending. I see tickets right behind the sideline for the visitor side. It's like 91 bucks per seat. And I'm just like, Dakota, I can't really afford this. We're gonna go because when are we gonna be here again? And Dakota's like, I'll pay you back at some point. I'm like, don't worry about it, bro. Let's just go. Little did I know when I got in there, I forgot about a parlay I had placed, right? A
Hmm.
touchdown parlay. It was
Hmm.
Kyron Williams, a couple of other people, and Gabe Davis. So my boy Andy, while we're at the game, he texts me. He's just like, bro, Kyron Williams just scored. All you need is Gabe Davis. And I'm looking over and I'm just like, dude, at the game. Crazy. Gabe Davis scores a touchdown. It's a go-ahead touchdown. The crowd is silent. I'm losing my fucking mind. I just won 500 bucks. And not only did I win 500 bucks and attend the game, but the tickets ended up being free because
Essentially, yeah.
I play. And then the Eagles win it in overtime. So truly top five greatest nights of my life. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't think we ever sat down the entire time, and I think I was still wet till the next morning because of how much it rained.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We're stuck in traffic for like an hour.
oh my God.
So it was so worth it. It
But
was
it was
such a
worth it. Yeah. Phenomenal. Phenomenal to see Jalen cross the end zone to seal the game in a walk-off touchdown. But
yeah, yeah,
anyways, back to so I'm gonna just take what you said and flip it. Or well not flip it, but take what you said earlier. Um I think you're right in that the Bills always beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but then lose in the playoffs. So to mess up the voodoo magic or whatever you want to call it, we're gonna say the Chiefs are gonna win in the regular season in this game, and then when they meet in the playoffs, the Bills will get their sweet revenge. So
Also, I don't understand why this isn't the Sunday night football game. NFL, like, we don't want to see Commanders Seahawks Sunday night football.
yeah, I mean to be fair, I don't want to see the Chiefs on prime time every weekend either.
Every
But
week I get it, but like, come on, schedulers, like, do a
yeah,
better
Chiefs
job.
Bills is definitely when you
That
want
is
to
the
be.
game. Like, that's such a game everybody looks forward to every year. So, like, do better.
Yeah, yeah. But you alluded to it. Sunday Night Football is the Seahawks at the Commanders. Seattle, kind of like you were saying with the Bills, like Seattle was always the team for me that if I wasn't an Eagles fan, I would have been a Seattle fan. I
Yeah.
don't know why, I just have always resonated with the city and those sports teams. Um, but I think the Commanders are still hurt with, I think Daniels is still out.
Yeah.
They really kind of died the second half against the Chiefs. Didn't really put up much of a fight.
No.
Seattle's off a bye. I like them to take a wild card spot this year, so I'm gonna take Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. I think Seattle wins. I think that it's a close game,
I
but
agree.
ultimately, if you're looking for a prop, I would take a Jackson Smith and Jigma 90 plus
He's
yards
a demon.
and a touchdown. He's such a dude. He's so good.
Crazy that
Uh,
they like shipped DK. I was like, all right, it's your time to shine. Like, because
yeah,
he's being
nah,
held back
JSN's a dude. Shout out Ohio State, man. Wide receiver you.
over
But fuck
LSU.
Ohio State past that.
Mm,
But yeah, I think the Seahawks win in Landover.
okay. And then final game, Cardinals at the Cowboys Monday Night Football. I'm gonna ride with the Cowboys to bounce back. I think
Yeah,
Kyler's playing.
yeah,
Not that that makes a difference.
yeah, I don't care who's playing. I'm taking. Well, you know what? No, I can't. I can't, in good conscience, take the Cardinals here. I'm taking the Cowboys. But if you're looking for a prop, just watch tape on the Cowboys defense and how terrible they are. Trey McBride, 90 yards and a touchdown.
90. I thought you were gonna go with like a little Marvin Harrison juice.
Nah, man, Maserati Marv don't got it right now.
Maserati
He's
Marv.
playing like Mitsubishi Marv.
Damn.
He has to work his way back up to like Mercedes Marv, and
Mm.
then maybe he can be Maserati Marv. But he's like Mitsubishi, man. He's I don't know if it's Kyler, I don't know if it's him, but
Yeah, he's
he's
like Brian Thomas, similar thing where it's like they just can't
nah,
mentally put
Brian.
it together. It's
Yeah, Brian
weird.
Thomas is just he's got the yips, like beyond the yips. Marvin Harrison, I think it's more just like not on the same page. But Brian Thomas, the ball is finding him. He is
Yeah,
just not
yeah.
he's not grabbing.
Ew, I don't want it.
Yeah, yeah. Like nine
Yeah.
times out of ten, Marvin Harrison catches those balls. Uh, BTJ, man, he's got some stuff to figure out. He's got to go soul searching.
For sure. But that is a wrap on our game picks. We'll have to get Tim's picks and post his studs and duds when we get a chance. But he's preoccupied with some stuff. So Mike, as always, thank you for hopping in his absence. Always a pleasure to have you, brother. And
Absolutely, thank you.
any last remarks on the NFL this season? No Eagles, so it's gonna be a quiet one for us. But
Yeah, I know Eagles, but still a lot of football to be played. Season has been but the we still don't know who's who. We still
this
don't
has
know
been wild.
what the
Wow.
playoffs are going to look like
Yeah.
totally. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Monday Night Football with the Packers. It's going to be a good game. But yeah, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for having me as always. I'm always happy to hop on, talk ball. And yeah, I'm going to get back to studying for this Series 65 license.
That
So
sounds horrible, but best of luck.
appreciate it, man.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Peace.
See you guys.